Hello, good evening, and welcome to my little channel, Paul Cherry Trains. You'll need to forgive me if the camera's slightly off lined up a bit. It's sort of like pointing upwards towards me. It's on a coffee table in front of me. I'm in the living room at the moment. Now, I'm going to have a little talk about things now. With everything that's gone on, and it's time to leave all that behind. When things happen, bad things happen in the past. Sometimes it's best to leave it in the past, and that's where it's going to be left. And people will know what I'm talking about. Those who don't know what I'm talking about don't want to know anyway. Okay, so we're going to forget about that now. Line drawn, gone. Okay, and we're going to get back to really positive things now. Okay, now we talk about my future plans. I think I'm developing my future plans now. Is you need to go over where I've actually been recently with my channel, and forgive me, I would get a frog in my throat just so I start speaking. But here we go, sorry about that. Right now, future plans. Now, as you know, probably you've seen me put a few things online lately. I did a video, my most recent one was about the tornado. Do I get that tornado? I nearly said typhoon again. It's tornado, okay. And that locomotive needed a few repairs. I'm going to keep you updated about that because some people have been asking questions, and some people have been asking questions about the longevity of the repair. Get my teeth in a minute. Now, okay, so we'll be covering that. Obviously, I'm in pioneering days on that, but I'll be going through that because I have done another model with the gluing glaze, okay, and I'm quite happy with the results. But I'm going to do a video quite shortly about that, so you can see the locomotive in question, okay. And that's the number one on the list. The other one is, of course, is I'm going to be probably going back to my home ground of the Great Western Railway. Now, I try to cover all the big four regions and the pre-grouping constituents if I can. And of course, recently I've given you Black 5 for the Midland. I've done videos on the Midland compounds if people can look back and look at those. I've done the for the LNER. I've done Catastock, that was Hunt class. I did Mallard, and I did obviously Tornado. And for the Southern Railway, I've done a Scores class, and I've done the T9. That was my latest brand new locomotive I bought. And I've got to be honest, I'm glad I did on that one. I mean, really nice locomotive. Okay, so, but I think that now it's time I got back to the GWR for a little bit. I'll be doing the other big four constituent, the rest of the other three, to keep keep you all entertained. But I'll be going back to the Great Western Railway, and I've been doing some research or trying to do, but I keep getting alerts with people's channels, and I've been trying to comment on people's channels. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with that. And if I miss any of your channels or any of your videos, please forgive me for that. I mean, I'm trying to keep up with everything. And I'm going to probably have to do a binge watch, just in case I miss anybody's videos. Now, the source material. I mean, we all need to, get source material of our knowledge, and this is what I'm going to hold this up now, so you can see what it is. It's the Great Western Railway: A New History, and it's by Frank Booker. Okay, and there's a picture of a lovely Great Western locomotive on the front there. Okay, now. Nice book. It was published in about, well, this edition's about 1985, I think, but it still holds true today. What's in this book, and it's a nice, interesting book to read. I'm only on the very, very beginning of the beginning of where the line was actually, drawn out by Brunel, and it's just fascinating, really, looking at the history. I mean, you imagine. I mean, it wasn't just like for Brunel; it must have been the same for Stevenson as well, and all the other great railway engineers. That must have been like going to the moon. I mean, I can remember when I was 12 years of age watching the Apollo, and it was I think once small step for a man, wasn't it? One giant leap for mankind. I say back in the Industrial Revolution, it must have been, life changing for people. Incredible period of our history. And when we're talking about that now, obviously with my Great Western Railway collection, I can only cover standard gauge because I don't have any broad gauge stuff that I can show you. And gauges. I mean, we talk about gauges. My goodness, Hornby have come out with a new gauge, haven't they? The TT, Tabletop Railway. Must admit, I'm quite fascinated. I'm going to be sticking with double O. I mean, I'm too far into double O to abandon that completely. And if I do buy TT, it's going to be something for me to run downstairs in the front room. I've got my layout upstairs on the bed at the moment. I mean, and with TT, I mean, will it catch on? I don't know. I mean, we all need to. You can only tell when you see what happens. No one can predict the future. I think it's going to be right up some people's street because some people have found. And when I used to go out to model railway exhibitions, I don't go out to so many as I used to. It was circumstances that dictated that really in the end. I've got to get back into that. But I always people remark that the double O was a bit too big, and then was a bit too small, and something in between. Well, they wanted something in between. Of course, you had the old Triang TT, I think it was, but of course that had gone out of production even before I started getting interested in railways. And but now I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm quite interested to see how this develops. But with the gauges, broad gauge versus standard gauge. I mean, that's one, isn't it? That's we all know how that ended up. With the Great Western Railway eventually going over to standard gauge. And I'll be covering that a little bit as well, the battle of the gauges, because that's an interesting, fascinating subject. But it's all sorts of things like the engines and the and certainly, I mean, a lot of people when you're in pioneering times, certain amount of failures. I mean, don't ever sort of dismiss the failures, because without these failures, you can't learn. I mean, I mean, Brunel tried the atmospheric railway. That failed. That was down by Star Cross, and that was an experiment that failed. But I think that was a lot to do with the available materials at the time. But probably if he hadn't have tried it, somebody else probably would have done. And to be able to move forward, you've got to try sometimes and fail sometimes before you eventually get the prize and succeed. And it happened to me in life. I've had a large number of failures in my life, but you need to learn from it, and is how you learn and move on, and that's how science must have moved forward in the Industrial Revolution. Anyway, that's me been going on for some time now. Please excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat there. But to talk about future plans, like I say, we're going to want to do some Judo work. I won't be abandoning the rest. Some of you LNER fans out there and your southern and your Midland people, don't think I'm going to be abandoning you completely, because I will be covering some locomotives. I mean, as they become available, I think we've all been hit by the cost of living crisis. I don't know about you, but I have, and I've got to think carefully about all my purchases, whether or not I can afford them, and will I weaken? Will I give in? I think someone's taken over my mind, extraterrestrial forces, because they keep on saying, you want it, your life's empty without it, and I'm, seriously, I could end up with another locomotive anytime soon. We can see about that, okay? And when I do, I'll be obviously really happy to show that to you if I get that, okay? And for all of you out there, I mean, you'll see me. I'll be sort of showing you lots of old models. I mean, like my models go back to the 1960s and I think 70s, right through to the present day. Don't dismiss these older models. I mean, I know a lot of you want to have DCC, the bells and whistles and that sort of thing. If you've got, and it's fantastic. If you've got that, that's great. That's lovely. But there are some people who are going to find the cost of getting into railways quite prohibitive, and you know, and some of these older models, I mean, they might not have the best detail. You know, they might be, you know, some of them might sound like I don't know, a dive bomber, you know, but at the end of the day, these models, they're all good little models, and I will continue to review them, and I'll be showing you my models, and certainly I'll be looking at getting some of the older stuff as well, if the price is right, okay. And I think we're looking at some quite exciting times with modern railways, and I'll be somebody. Dionysius Lardner is his name. I think it's Dionysius Lardner. Okay, I'll be covering him a little bit as well. A man that a lot of Great Western fans. Pardon me, coughing again. Oh, this is all live, you know. You can't help it, can you, when it's live? Okay, Dionysius Lardner, I think his name is. Might have pronounced him wrong. One of the great scientists of his age, okay, who had a bit of a disagreement with Brunel. And poor bloke, he was proved wrong on 3 counts. And of course, with a lot of the history of the GW and everything else, he gets dismissed as some kind of crank, you know, or something else. And I'm going to give a bit of a balanced view about him. I'm going to look him up because I've only looked up a brief amount of him. He's a fascinating man. I mean, a fascinating person. Okay, and so we'll go into that as well. Okay, and again, coming back to getting things wrong and being wrong. Well, we can all be wrong, can't we? You know, we ought to think about that. But just because we're wrong, it don't mean to say that we're a crank. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay. And I shall bid you farewell for now. And bye-bye. Okay. Sorry if I got to lean forward to switch off the camera. I've not got a remote control. I don't know. Maybe I can set one of those up. But we'll see how we go with that, okay? And I'll be making some new videos soon, okay? So if like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done yet. And ring that bell. You'll be made aware of more videos. And by subscribing don't mean you've got to pay a subscription, okay? Those of you who have not subscribed to channels before, don't let it put you off. You see a channel you like, you want to come back to it, no matter whether it's my channel or anybody's channel out there. There's loads of fantastic modern railway channels out there. Far too many for me to mention, okay? If you like what you see on the see out there, like and subscribe, okay? And that's just not me, that's other people too, okay? Other people's channels. So I'll bid you farewell. And bye-bye. Just lean forward and turn the camera off now.